Hello there, I'm Moldy, and the last time you saw this ship, I told you it was going to be the last because I have turned this into a mock, not just from the sequels, but also that showed up in The Mandalorian. So get your predictions in now for what you think the ship is going to turn into. Quite similar looking to this build, but we've recently moved this shelf all the way from over here, and that has freed up a lot more wall space for my clone wall. We were starting to run out of space just a little bit at the bottom because we'd already built all the way down to my desk. I do have a standing desk, by the way, in its sitting position, which is what you'll see during live streams. But now we have got an extra foot or so of space above the clone wall to expand for all of the brand new clone troopers we're hoping to get at the end of this year. Today's video is all about sequel trilogy love. It's not only the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. We've seen that with sets like the Arc 170 coming out, and I'm sure we're going to get a load more Order 66 sets later on this year. We've also got the AT-AT driver helmet. It goes really, really nicely with the UCS set. I didn't realize Lego has retired, though you can still find it in most stores here in the UK. Actually, I think that one might be a Smith's Toy Store exclusive. I'm going to reveal the model. I'm too excited to wait any longer. Today, we'll be taking a look at a First Order / Imperial transport, or Trooper dropship, which I'm so happy to show you. There are a ton of really cool features, and apparently you're meant to be able to fit 36 troopers in this ship. So stay tuned, we'll take a look at that towards the end of the video later on, perhaps not right at the end of the video, to see if we can fit 36 troopers in this ship. There's plenty of space on the inside. I'll give you a little sneak peek already, but I'm so happy with how this mock turned out. Instructions will be up on the members Discord when this video goes out, and I'll probably also upload them to Rebrickable. Though let me just say, for how big a model this is, it's a lot cheaper becoming a member and getting your name permanently on the Master Moldy members monolith we have here. The reason it's a monolith is this is 4 times bigger than last year's members board, and we're already filling it up pretty fast. So definitely consider becoming a member. You get your name on this board, access to the Discord. Don't forget to link your YouTube account to your Discord so you can access all of the fun channels we've got going on. And like I said, you'll also get instructions to this transport. Now on Saturday, we built the home one. Don't worry, I'm not skipping over this. I am planning on, or I'm currently working on chopping up that stream, have a little best bits montage coming out tomorrow with a few exclusive clips of this ship. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because on Saturday, we were talking about midi-scale ships, and we are rumored to be getting a midi-scale Kylo Ren shuttle. So any of you sequel fans that are interested, definitely keep an eye out for that, alongside a Kylo Ren helmet. So it turns out Lego haven't completely forgot about the sequels. But this troop transport is one of my favorite ships to come out of the sequels. In fact, I'll probably say hands down, it's my favorite ship to come out of the sequels. Kylo Ren's fighter in Episode 8 is really, really sleek, and that probably is a close second, but I just like the way they crammed so many troops into this. And I also remember the Resistance transport, which is a set that I did pick up around the same time. Lego have made their own transport, but this can be made with pieces exclusively from the Onyx Cinder, but they're not exclusive. You can actually pick this model up for a lot cheaper. It only costs £30 if you're to part it out on Brick Owl, Brick Nut, or Brick Link. All 3 of them, it comes to £30, so it's a nice and cheap model if you don't own the set. But the reason I'm parting out the Onyx Cinder, well, at least I will be after this video, is because the main grab for me was those minifigures. And the ship doesn't look like this anymore. I'm not sure if we will see the ship return, or if that's going to be something that stays to at-in and doesn't show up in the rest of Star Wars. But if you want something that will fit with the rest of your displays, and perhaps you have a few sequel sets on the shelf or Mandalorian sets, because I wonder if we'll see the Imperial Garrison and the troop transport again in the Mandalorian. This is a really cool build, and like I said, £30 if you don't own the set. You might as well pick up some of the pieces, or at least check your parts bin, because you might find you have more than you think. My favorite feature with this set is the landing gear. As you can see, we have some really cool looking landing gear that does fold up just like that. It's as easy as twisting one of the Technic beams on it and hides away whilst it is taking off. I took a look at some of the actual model images that were posted on Instagram to really get the shape of this ship. You can see it bulges a little bit where each of the landing gear are stored up, similar to what you see in some aircrafts, although a lot more modern ones tend to be a bit sleeker. Star Wars is definitely pulling of less modern vehicles. And then from the back, you can also see there's that bulge in the middle where we've got those Technic beams that are basically holding together the entire base of this vehicle. So I'm very happy we got some Technic beams with the Onyx Cinder. Like I said, these are fairly common pieces, so I didn't go out and buy a second Onyx Cinder ship just to build these. Though if you were to do so, you could earn a little bit back in selling the minifigures. But this is one of the sets that are cheaper to part out, even if you are planning on selling those spare figs, which cannot be said about all of the new Lego sets. Like I said, my favorite feature is the landing gear, which just pops out with a nice twist of this Technic beam, but it's not the only feature on this ship. We have access to the entire interior of this model thanks to a ramp at the front of the ship, two ramps, one on either side of the ship, and then another ramp at the bottom of the ship. Very similar to how the Onyx Cinder works. I'm going to bring this model back out. We have a ramp at the back, a ramp at the front, and then the sides also open for as much access to the interior. Though the problem with the Onyx Cinder is because it's such a secure model, you could probably drop this thing from a meter, and I doubt many pieces will fall off. Do not try that at home. I'm just saying you probably could. And I think Lego have actually gone a bit too much into making this a really secure model. I don't think many smaller children are going to be swooshing this around playing with it. It's quite a sizable and therefore heavy model. This is about half the weight of the Onyx Cinder, but you've still got access to the entire interior, and you can actually see almost entirely through the model because this whole structure is held up by two 2x2 round beams, the same beams you see holding up the landing gear of the Onyx Cinder, holding up this entire ship. Well, kind of. Now, I can't spoil exactly how this is put together because why else would you need the instructions? But as well as those beams, I'm making use of a lot of bracket work, and these sides of the ship, which are built nearly exclusively with different plates and wedge plates, are actually supporting those beams a lot more than you would think. As well as that play feature, we do have turrets which are on those round turntable 2x2 elements, similar to some of the turrets you see on the Onyx Cinder. So I have borrowed quite a few different things, and especially these engines on the back here. Originally, these were 2x4 blue round tiles, but I decided to just nab the engines off the Onyx Cinder and rebuild them to fit this model of ship. There's one play feature that I haven't told you about, but I think we'll need a minifigure for that. So speaking of, let's add some minifigures to this set. The original Lego set would have come with a handful of troopers, I'm sure, like the Rebel one did, but I think we can definitely improve upon the original minifigure count just by pulling out an exclusive FN2187, or as we come to know him, Finn from The Force Awakens, with the nice sandy outfit. And I do like the fact that it doesn't come with the helmet. You can get custom helmets with that blood splatter on it or the bloodied hand stripe. But Finn here does arrive on Jakku in one of these transports alongside Kylo Ren. Well, Kylo Ren technically pulls up in his shuttle, but we couldn't have a sequel trilogy set without another Kylo Ren minifigure, so we're going to slide him into this one. And Phasma. I never got the Phasma minifigure. In fact, it's one of 3 minifigures that I don't own from The Force Awakens that I'd really love for Lego to release, alongside Lor San Tekka and the Flame Trooper, both of which showed up in an X-Wing set that I so wanted to pick up, but didn't get the chance before it retired. So maybe to celebrate, we can build it later on this year. And alongside Finn, Kylo Ren, and the imaginary Phasma that I'm just going to place next to Ben here, we need to fill this thing with troopers. I only picked up a couple of the First Order battle packs, so I don't own 36 troopers, and I very much doubt, unless they make this UCS, even if they make it UCS, Lego aren't giving us 36 troopers in this set. We've seen it with the AT-AT. They're just going to release a battle pack with 3 troopers and then perhaps one of the other guards or gunners that we saw in that First Order battle pack around the time of the movie's release. So the real question is, how many stormtroopers do you think Lego would give us? Well, I'm not Lego. I'm not limited to a specific amount of minifigures, but I think we've got 3 named characters. We normally get, like with the Onyx Cinder, 5 minifigures in this, so that's at least 2 troopers. but I think I'm going to be a little more generous. So we are up in our total to 5 minifigures with these 2 First Order troopers. I think we can push it to 4 or 5 of these troopers, especially if we include 1 heavy. We could definitely whack a flamethrower in here as well. And let's give them a 3rd regular trooper. I believe we got 3 regular 212 troopers with the ATTE. So we can get 3 regulars, Captain Phasma, Kylo, Finn, a heavy trooper, and a flamethrower. Knocking 2 minifigures off my wish list whilst we're at it. I don't think we need to include Lor San Tekka, Poe Dameron, or any other civilians that we see in the Force Awakens games and in Skywalker Saga, for instance. And though it would be quite nice, what LEGO could always do is release a civilian set that is more into the LEGO City line. Of course, we're not going to get city-styled figures, but it might appeal to a broader audience and could be something LEGO could consider for future sets. Because there are fewer Technic pieces than we see in the Onyx Cinder, it does make this ship slightly cheaper, so we might need a small build to go with it. If this were an official set, but it's not, it's a custom mock, and I'm sure all of these minifigures are probably worth what you're spending on the pieces for this build. But now comes the real question. You can lift this flap up, by the way, quite high and try to lock it in with this turret, but we're going to pop it off and see if we can get 36 minifigures in this ship. I don't own enough of these First Order troopers. I only own 9 of them. But I do own a load more clone troopers, so let's bring out the boys in blue. I own so many, I now keep them in a parts drawer because they fill up a whole box. We've managed to fit 35 out of 36 troopers in clone troopers, stormtroopers, a bit of mix of those both. Let's get the extras out of here. 35 out of 36 isn't half bad. Well, we've still got Finn here, who should really be a part of this vessel. Now, this is the last play feature that I didn't show you earlier. We have a little turret up here with a little command perhaps for these guns on the side. So Finn, or FN2187 at this point, can be our 36th trooper on top of this ship. Technically, it's kind of in the ship. It's in the turret. I would class that as being in the ship. And we can officially fit 36 troopers. I didn't test this before the video. I'm so happy this is added up. 36 troopers in this mock. I'm honestly in a bit of disbelief that we actually fit 36 troopers in this build. Sure, we had to seat some on the boarding ramp, but we actually fit 36 troopers, which canonically is as many troopers as this can hold, although they seem to have a bit more breathing space at the start of The Force Awakens. Speaking of The Force Awakens, and going back to Kylo Ren for a second, I've recently picked up a Kylo Ren bobblehead from Funko, and I know it's not Lego, and a few of you might not be interested. We'll look back to Lego in just a second, but this is really, really cool, because the box that this Funko Pop came in has a little sticker here, 2024 Full Convention Limited Edition, which is why I picked this up. It was going for pretty cheap, actually. I guess no one wants a Kylo Ren bobblehead, but there's a little QR code on here, which is to verify and is almost a modern day certificate of authenticity, which I think is really interesting and something that LEGO could possibly do in the future with a few of their exclusive sets. Now, LEGO claim not to do regional exclusives. And yes, as you all pointed out, this was even before the Nebulon B regional exclusive, the Bespin Duel regional exclusive, and I'm sure there's a few more. The magazines, regional exclusives to Europe. So there's still some truth to that. The magazines aren't run by LEGO at least. But LEGO have also just rolled out their print a minifigure online service on lego.com to Canada, expanding it from just the United States. So that's still exclusive to North America. Hopefully Europe can get that soon. That would be really cool for official Star Wars customs, and might even crash the market for other custom companies if you can go straight through LEGO. But the reason I'm bringing up this Kylo Ren bobblehead is Kylo Ren seems to be the only thing we're getting this year from The Force Awakens in LEGO sets. Like I mentioned, the rumours are at the minute a Kylo Ren midi-scale ship, which would look really cool building it vertically rather than horizontally like all of the other ships have been so far. But we're also rumoured to get a Kylo Ren helmet. So Going back to Lego now, a few sets that I would like to see from The Force Awakens. In fact, I'd really like to see another Pose X-Wing re-release the original set purely because I didn't pick it up. And we have rumours of a £1,000 Death Star, which seems to no longer be happening for May. Later on this year, it's meant to be a prequel set, so I don't think we're getting the £1,000 Death Star. It seems that was just some really excited fans. But a follow-up from a £1,000 Death Star, Starkiller's even bigger than the Death Star. So are we going to get a £10,000 Starkiller base? And if we were, how big do you think that Lego set would have to be to warrant that £10,000 price tag? Yeah, no one's going to be paying that. Instead of a Kylo Ren helmet, I think this is the perfect opportunity. Sequel fans have been starved of Lego sets. I keep bringing this up. As a prequel fan, I don't mind. We've got the Ark, we've got the Eater, and plenty more sets coming. But sequel fans, especially sequel fans that are into something like Lego, are really not getting a lot to play with. And I'm not speaking about the adults here. Sure, you can turn the Onyx Cinder into a troop transport to go with your Force Awakens set. I'm speaking more about the children that grew up with these movies. These are the first movies and the first content of Star Wars they've got. And Lego are really catering more so to adults who, let's be fair, are the ones paying a lot more when it comes to Lego. But I would like to see some Force Awakens sets. But because sequel fans have been starved of Lego content, rather than getting a helmet, which isn't aimed at kids, it's definitely aimed at us adults that are earning a bit more money, I think Lego go all the way and give us a Kylo Ren Big Fig. For those of you that weren't around to see it at the start of last year, 2024, this is my Big Fig of Captain Rex, which uses the official Lego helmet on a custom brick-built torso and legs, which matches up to the scale of a Lego minifigure, just making it giant. And this is inspired by all those Big Figs we see, Harry and Hermione for Harry Potter. We've seen a typical Lego Big Fig, and recently Lego have announced they're bringing out a racing giant minifigure to go alongside, no doubt, with the Formula One theme of this year. This is the perfect opportunity to do something like this for Kylo Ren. Originally, before the leaks of the helmet, I wanted a Kylo Ren bust, similar, I guess, to the Darth Vader exclusive we saw a few conventions back, quite a few conventions back, and also the Black Panther one that we saw for T'Challa. I think a Big Fig might be even better than that, because with Kylo Ren, there's no claws that they could build alongside the helmet that you'd know it's Kylo Ren, even if you remove the helmet. So I don't think that would work as well. But getting a full giant fig, and also would be probably getting a brick-built lightsaber with the crossguard, which we've seen again in High Republic, and no doubt we'll probably see some when Star Wars finally decides to give us some Old Republic content, if we're ever getting that. This is the perfect time for Lego to give us a giant fig. Like I said, sequel fans starved of content, they can up the price just that little bit extra. I don't think the helmet would be as big as the helmet lines if Lego were to do something like this, but it'd be pretty cool to see some custom mocks if Lego do only settle with the Kylo Ren helmet, because I'm sure you'll be able to buy the torso and legs elsewhere. Anyway, let's put Captain Rex back. And please do let me know down in the comments if there's any other sets you perhaps missed out on when The Force Awakens was coming out 10 years ago. I wonder if we'll get a Force Awakens special brick. We got one for 40 years of Return of the Jedi, and so far we've got an Arc 170, like I said, from Revenge of the Sith, and the 8080 driver helmet, and with no sign of any anniversary bricks for those milestones. Empire Strikes Back isn't really a big one. 45, they'll probably wait until 50 years, but 20 years of Revenge of the Sith and they're not giving us a brick. Maybe they're saving it for The Force Awakens instead, and Lego could come back bigger than ever, building up the hype to the new Daisy Ridley movie, potentially even a trilogy if Lego want to round off the first 12 Star Wars movies. But we'll have to wait and see for that. I'm sure there'll be more announced at Star Wars Celebration, and I will be going live after Star Wars Celebration every single day with the latest news, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget you can catch me live here on the channel nearly every Saturday at 7 p.m. UTC. And if you don't want to see sequel sets, don't just say that in the comments. Let me know why and what sets you'd prefer to see instead, especially if it includes the Old Republic. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. It's probably gone on a bit longer than I expected. Don't forget you can find instructions for this over on the members Discord. It will be cheaper than Rubricable, so you might as well become a member and get your name on the members board. And may the bricks be with you always.